evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, another toolkit saga has entered India's political sphere. In fact, the BJP this morning suddenly brandished a new toolkit which it alleged the Congress had distributed to its various members on social media. And this toolkit was anti-India and anti-Modi. In fact, this toolkit, according to the BJP, was aimed at tarnishing the image of India abroad and specifically the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The BJP also accused the Congress of collaborating with friendly foreign media to misrepresent facts of COVID realities in India. Minutes after the BJP went to town with this toolkit, the Congress party outrightly rejected the claims made by the BJP and even accused the BJP of concocting, forging a toolkit and letterheads of the Congress party and attributing it to the Congress. Well, by evening, the Congress even registered a complaint with the Delhi police seeking to book top BJP leaders, including BJP President Mr. JP Nadda, as well as several top government ministers who had tweeted on this entire toolkit. Here's how the explosive political exchange panned out during the day.
प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदीज इमेज को लेकर एक कॉलम बना है और उसमें क्या लिखा है? The approval ratings of the Prime Minister Modi has been high and have not dipped despite crisis and mismanagement. This is an opportunity to destroy his image and erode his popularity.
It is a completely fictitious, concocted, forged document. We are in fact taking legal action. We are filing an FIR for forgery against JP Nadda, the BJP president, and Sambit Patra.
We will not keep quiet. You cannot scare us into silence. Because we speak on behalf of this country, you can't scare us. We are not scared of you. We are not afraid of you, Mr. Modi.
दूसरी वेव का कोई इंतजाम नहीं था, कि ये टूल नहीं था। जिम्मेदारी है विपक्ष की कि इन टूल्स का इस्तेमाल करे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को चाहिए कि जिम्मेदारी के साथ काम करे।
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there are two sides to the story tonight, and let me present to you both these sides. Well, the charges that have been made by the BJP are grave. It warrants a debate and a discussion and bringing to light and informing our viewers if these charges really hold true. As the Congress has hit back with fierce counter, the fact is, I want to pose questions now to both sides because the Congress has said that the toolkit doesn't exist. So my questions go out to both the BJP and the Congress party. And my first question that goes out to the BJP is, can the BJP provide evidence to establish the Congress link to the toolkit? And can the Congress deny the use of the phrase Indian strain of COVID by many of its netas, which many of Congress netas used in their tweets, especially when the WHO itself has denied the presence of any Indian strain of COVID-19. While the BJP alleges that Congress used the toolkit to malign the Kumbh Mela and hence the Hindus as a whole, and the fact that there were rise in cases and there was a surge in COVID cases in Uttarakhand post the Kumbh Mela. Can the BJP deny that there was a link between the two? But at the same time, I want to ask the Congress party a question. Yes, we here on Times Now also decried the crowds at the Kumbh Mela. But we've equally taken up the issues of farm protests because this is not the time for having these kind of congregations. Why is the Congress silent on that? While the BJP accuses the Congress of hoarding health equipment, beds, blocking them, medicines in its toolkit, isn't the BJP accepting that if all this happened under its own nose, then there has to be a governance failure? And the question for the Congress is, hasn't the High Court pulled up Delhi police for a clean chit to Congress netas in the hoarding probe? Where do they stand on that? And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question on the news hour tonight. Who is behind the COVID toolkit and what is the truth behind this toolkit? That's the question and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight is Sanjay Jha, who I always love to introduce as the suspended Congress leader. I'm also joined tonight by Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, scientist, Shehzad Poonawalla, lawyer, Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, and Partha Pratim Bora, Congress leader from Assam. But my first question goes to Nupur Sharma, official spokesperson of the BJP. And Nupur Sharma, I want to ask you, the Congress has now complained to the Delhi police and have sought the registration of an FIR because they say the documents that you have put out or your party has put out are fake, forged, and there is no such toolkit that exists. So the legitimate question that arises is that in front of the country, when you put such accusations, which are then supported by the president of the party, Mr. J.P. Nadda, and several union ministers, Smriti Irani, Piyush Goyal, Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, battery of senior ministers of the government have come out and tweeted about this toolkit. Can you prove the existence of this toolkit? Because the Congress says you're forging these documents.
Well, good evening, Navika, to you, to panelists, and also to your viewers. I would say at the outset, it's absolutely welcome. Now, because of the complaint, there will be a prima facie investigation, which will go into the roots of where this toolkit was actually made from, and about time. And I will say in Hindi, ab doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega, aur isko koi rok nahi sakta hai. Because let's not forget, only in the recent past, you had cheerleaders in the form of Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary of another toolkit during the farmers' protest, wherein porn stars and pop stars were cited on the floor of the parliament by the LOP and said, remember what he said? This is something which is making a mockery out of us. I mean, if Congress in today's day and age requires a baisakhi of porn stars to remain politically and electorally relevant somehow, then I would not be too surprised if this toolkit is actually their work. Why do I say that? If you go into all the 4 pages of the toolkit as far as COVID management is concerned, and 2 as far as Central Vista project is concerned, you will see this is exactly what they're doing. Even in your pilot right now, you had one Supriya Srinath who obviously said that this is not our doing, this is not a piece of our work. Let me tell you, 3 days ago on a Hindi channel, for 32 seconds, she kept on repeating where I was there with her on a debate. Indian variant is killing everybody. This is something to be absolutely ashamed of. And I'm sorry to say, there is a woman called Sonia Pilario, apparently lives in London, apparently is a journalist, author, God knows what she does, has already called it a Modi variant some 5 days ago. So I'm sure none of these people are so smart to automatically come up with Indian variant and Modi variant, in spite of the fact that this has been protested at the WO. There is nothing called Indian variant, has been corrected to as well. And after all, ultimately, from blocking beds, which is something that the Delhi High Court and various other courts have also said that this needs to be investigated into. If there was any hoarding, if there was any jamakhori, black marketing.
Well, Tehseen Poonawalla is raising his hand, and Tehseen Poonawalla, I want to ask you. The WHO has said that there is no Indian variant. So they have not given the name any authenticity. Is the Congress party in a position to begin to call, the coronavirus variants by the name of India, by the name of Modi? Are you wanting to run down your own country abroad by calling it an Indian variant? You know how people talk about China in the first phase of the COVID. Now you want that kind of, a feeling of negativity towards India, because nobody else is calling it the Indian variant except Indians themselves. And some of those Indians have been quoted by the BJP are from the Congress party using a toolkit. It's a serious question, Tehseen Poonawalla.
Thank you, ma'am. I will answer that question, but I want to just get to a hypothesis, and I'll answer that question very specifically with evidence. Ma'am, let's assume what the BJP is saying. Let's assume hypothetically this toolkit is correct. Let's assume that, and it's the truth. Therefore, ma'am, is the BJP confessing that the Congress planned somehow in October, November, December, January that Prime Minister Modi, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, will not have the sense to know what is our population and therefore have that many vaccine doses? Is the Congress putting up bodies on the roadside where I am, in Uttar Pradesh, where I am sending body bags? I'll just take 30 seconds before I come to your question. You know, ma'am, why we get the beds, or why the beds are available to common citizens? Because we work real time on the ground. Right now, I got late in joining your show because I was at Rainbow Hospital arranging a ventilator for a pregnant woman. This is real time update. It should be the work this government does. We are up till 3 o'clock talking to patients and putting them with doctors and their records. But this is not what we expect Mr. Modi to do once his photographs everywhere. Let's come to your question. Ma'am, Times of India, I'm quoting Times of India, is explaining what the B.1617.2, which is the Indian variant, is. This Times of India anti-national? Economic Times, Tina Thacker. She's talking about it. Is she anti-national? Is Economic Times? Look, ma'am, this is because they want to hide their failure. I'm going to end by just now. Yeah, Times of India is pliable. Okay. I'm just going to end by saying one thing, ma'am. Just one word. In ICMR, when talking about the second wave, spoke about the British variant, the UK variant. Was ICMR also a racist? Ma'am, the fact is, CDC is in Pune. Sanjay Jha will know about it. The Center for Controlling Diseases, in December, they wrote to the Honorable Prime Minister, you are going to get a second wave. Does anybody know somebody from CDC? Can they quote? Their Prime Minister has not taken scientific advice. He failed, ma'am. That's why.
Well, Tehseen Poonawala, let me be fair here, and let me say that pointing out problems is the opposition's right as it is the public's right, and people in power, people running governments, whether they are at state government levels, chief ministers, or whether they are at the center, health minister or the prime minister, well, criticism is something that they will have to take in their stride, because what we saw in terms of numbers and in terms of the response was something that actually made people panicky. And that criticism right is with the opposition. Nobody can take it away from you. But Shehzad Poonawala, the question I want to ask you is, criticism rights exist. This is a democracy. Anybody can call anybody and talk about the performance, which is fine. But to begin to say that we do real-time things in hospitals and nobody else does it, do you know, or can you imagine that, there are many members of parliament, maybe ministers, maybe chief ministers who've done equal amount of work. So it can't be said that only the Congress was working and the BJP wasn't, only the opposition is working and the government wasn't. Was it enough? That there can be a debate on that, but that they were not working, Shehzad Poonawala, can you actually say that?
Let me first begin by saying that I agree that let us forget this toolkit. Let us say that this toolkit is unauthentic. It is not correct at all. I am starting from that position, okay? Now look at the counter of the Congress party. When Mr. Pawan Khera came out, he said this document is forged. But he had no problem with the content and the intent of the toolkit. And what was the content and the intent of the toolkit? That push and amplify one variant of COVID as Indian variant. And it has been done by Shashi Tharoor in his tweets. Ms. Sonia Falero, let me just add, she's the daughter of a Congress MP, married to partner of Rahul Gandhi, and she was also pushing, and she was being given shabashi by Shashi Tharoor and other Congress ecosystem and other Congress leaders. And Rahul Gandhi himself tweeted about the Indian variant. Now, my problem with this Indian variant theory is that when MPs and Congress ecosystem amplifies it, the repercussions of this is on the Indian population living abroad who face racist attacks. It is on the image of India. You can have Modi Virod. I would not have a problem even if they called it Modi variant, but to call it Indian variant, this shows that in the haste of targeting Modi, they went to the targeting of India itself. And this is not the first time. They can say that this toolkit is not us, but is it not true Manishankar Ayyar went to Pakistan and said, Hamari madad karo, Modi ko hatana hai? Is it not true that they went to Jeremy Corbyn and they discussed 370? Is it not true that they started an office in Turkey and they, at the time Turkey was abusing India? Is it not true that every time there is a crisis in this country, they go and stand with Pakistan, whether it's 370, whether it's Kashmir, whether it's any other issue? So forget that. Now, second point, amplify the deaths in India, amplify the cremations. Mr. Rahul Gandhi tweeted those also. But is it not true, Navika Kumar, that those underreporting of deaths has taken place in Telangana? Telangana High Court came down hard. It has taken place in Mumbai and Maharashtra. It has taken place in Delhi. It has taken place in Punjab. It has taken place in other Congress ruled states. Not single incident of that was amplified ever. Only amplification of this. By the way, the 5 states that have contributed 50% plus cases are Maharashtra, Delhi, Punjab, Delhi, Rajasthan, and Chhattisgarh. These states are run by Congress Party. What did the Congress Party, the visionary leadership of Rahul Gandhi, do there? They reduced the ICU beds, ICU ventilators, and the other corona fighting infrastructure by 30 to 50% between September to January. So I want to ask Tehseen Poonawalla that अगर आपके सरकार ये काम कर देती तो तहसीन पूनावाला को बेड अरेंज करने की या ऑक्सीजन अरेंज करने की नौबत नहीं आती और फिर अपने काम को एम्पलीफाई करना और दूसरे के काम के ऊपर सवाल उठाना.
Shehzad Poonawalla, while I'll get Tehseen to respond to you, but the fact is आपने नहीं किया तो उनको सवाल पूछ के क्या फायदा? The point is that public सब जानती है ना, states ने किया ना सेंटर ने किया. That is the real question. So let me get in Partha Pratim Bora, leader from
Navika, just one line. इकबाल चहल जिसके मुंबई मॉडल को ये लोग सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, उसने कहा कि सेंटर ने 15 सेकंड के अंदर ऑक्सीजन इंतजाम करके दिया. जैसे ही ऑक्सीजन पर खुलासा हुआ, ये दिल्ली के जो सरकार वाले हैं वो वैक्सीन पे भटक गए. अब वैक्सीन का क्लैरिफिकेशन हो रहा है तो वो कहीं और भटक रहे हैं. मैं इनसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, इकबाल चहल झूठे है क्या?
Can I reply in one line?
Well,
Can I reply in one line?
You know,
just one line.
Okay, Tehseen,
No.
go on.
Please, Shehzad, understand, if even BJP youngsters, Charu Pragyas, Bagga, everyone's trying to work. What we are talking about is real-time update. That is what the central government is.
Do you support use of Indian variant by Rahul Gandhi? Yes, I want to respect. Do you support the term Indian variant? Rahul Gandhi has called it Chinese variant because
I cannot debate it.
Rahul Gandhi did not call it Chinese variant. He did not call it Wuhan virus. He calls it Indian variant. Do you support Rahul Gandhi and Shashi Tharoor using that term? Just tell me yes or no.
This government has failed in a real-time data management and it's failed in the vaccination problem. Did the Prime Minister not know our population?
But
the
question he is asking, Tehseen, the question he is asking is it necessary? No. Is it necessary to call it the Modi variant or the Indian variant because you think the government has not performed well? Is it necessary to call it the Indian variant or the Modi variant when the WHO doesn't do that? When the WHO has said there is no such thing as an Indian variant, why would Congress leaders do that?
There is no such thing as an Indian variant, but there is such a thing as Indians die on the road dead. Their body is not being cremated.
So then, will you say that Shashi Tharoor is wrong when he uses the word Indian variant? Will you say Shashi Tharoor is wrong? Will you say other Congress netas who have used the word Indian variant, they are wrong? Will you say yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
If Shashi Tharoor is wrong for language, Prime Minister is responsible for death. Let's be clear on that. The Prime Minister is responsible for death.
Everything the Prime Minister is responsible. Everything the Prime Minister is responsible. But let me get in Partha Pratim Bora. Partha Pratim Bora, the question is not whether or not the opposition has the right to criticize the government. Of course, that is the job. The opposition is the conscience keeper of the nation. And that is why opposition parties are important. And that is why a strong opposition will keep democracy alive. But in the name of keeping democracy alive, is it necessary to run down the country? Is it necessary to call the COVID variant? I mean, talk about the performance, talk about underreporting. As Shehzad pointed out, underreporting is happening in many states, whether they are opposition ruled or BJP ruled. Well, the story is pretty much similar in most of these cases. But the question here is, इंडियन वेरिएंट मोदी की पॉपुलैरिटी नीचे लानी है. अरे भाई ले आओ, मोदी पॉपुलर नहीं रहेगा. अगली बार अगर आप कह रहे इतने फेलियर्स हुए तो चलिए राहुल गांधी बनेंगे पीएम. बट इज इट नेसेसरी टू ब्लेम द कंट्री एंड कॉल इट एन इंडियन वेरिएंट विच इज इंटरचेंजेबल टू अ मोदी वेरिएंट? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन पीपल आर आस्किंग.
No, it is very clear. Congress party is not fighting this pandemic with any political agendas. We are going ahead with oxygens, we are going ahead with ventilators, we are fighting this pandemic for people and with people. We are fighting for oxygen, we want vaccinations, we want ventilators, we want ICU beds. That is what Congress party wants. And if you just
But this is the same Congress that did not want Covaxin in the beginning. This is the same Congress party which said that these vaccines are not dependable. This is the same Congress party that said that the government has not given details. Now suddenly you want everything as if there is a magic wand.
Secondly, when dead bodies are there in the, when we find dead bodies in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, we should talk about that rather than saving the Prime Minister's face. Only BJP is busy in saving Prime Minister's face with false and fabricated documents, like we have registered a case.
You are making guinea pigs out of Indian people.
Well, Shehzad, I can't hear you, so don't interrupt. I will come to you, Shehzad. 1 minute, hold on.
Why does he interrupt everybody?
I'm not getting your audio, Shehzad. We have to fix your audio. We can't hear you. Partha is making a point, and Partha, let's hear your point before I get in Nupur Sharma.
Yes, I'm saying that we should talk about oxygen. Just they want to save the face of the Prime Minister. The whole world is saying that the Prime Minister is not, that things are not well managed, things are not properly managed. When we need vaccinations in India, they have sent the vaccinations outside. We need oxygen beds. We got the proper time and proper ample of opportunities to so that we can battle the second wave, but we did nothing. The central government approach was nothing. They were busy campaigning in West Bengal. When Rahul Gandhi did not campaign, Rahul Gandhi gave up his campaign.
The point that is being made by the Congress leader is that it is not a taboo in a democracy to criticize and to find fault with the government and even the Prime Minister. That's what they are saying, number one. Number two, what they are saying is that if you do not even allow them the right to criticize the government, then where is the democracy? Number two, the question they are asking is, if there is a toolkit, then why don't you show the evidence? Because right now everything is forged. And number three, if the toolkit is such a problem that we've discovered some great secret, then the question that has been asked by several leaders from the opposition, including Priyanka Chaturvedi, who tweeted out and said that there is a toolkit that the BJP follows itself, because most of the ministers have also used the same issue and the same hashtag and talked about it. So is there a toolkit in the BJP as well?
Navita, first and foremost, there is no problem that you criticize the government and ask questions of us. But there is a problem if you bring a bad name and rumor monger in the midst of a raging pandemic. Fact is, only India is not hit by it. And Shehzad asked the right question. Indian variant hai, kabhi Chinese virus bola hai kisi Congressee ne? I've never heard it. And by the way, pagal ko kabhi ye kehte rahe suna hai ki haan main pagal hu. Do you expect even in your pilot you had Supriya Srinath say it's forgery? You never had Pawan Kheda or even Rashid Alvi, a senior leader from Congress, say it's a forgery. Aapne hamare ko mauka diya aapko criticize karne ko. But what kind of criticism? Al Jazeera comes out with a news article. Super spreader comb. Al Jazeera did not come out with an article. Eid ka jo congregation ho raha hai Punjab mein, thousands of people are getting together. That's a super spreader event. Or the fact that Ms. Priyanka Vadra was jumping from Meerut to Saharanpur to Mathura for Kisan Mahapanchayat in spite of a case of a rape cum coronavirus death of a young girl. Have you heard any kind of criticism in international media? It may be fashionable to fly a drone over crematoriums and show Hindu deaths. Have you ever seen any international media or even domestic media show a drone over burial sites in the US wherein you still have n number of trucks with hundreds of dead bodies? That's not fashionable, darling. That doesn't happen in our country because
let's not. I don't even know what we are competing about. And Dr. Anand Ranganathan, what are we competing about? Graves, crematoriums. Are we going to now compete? कि भाई US में ज़्यादा थी आपने दिखाई नहीं, India में उससे थोड़ी कम थी आप दिखा रहे हो. You know, are we really going to now have a competition on statistics of bodies being burnt in crematoriums or bodies being buried in graveyards in the United States? I don't even want to go that road because that's terribly personally upsetting, especially in this period when most of us are losing people that we've loved, our friends, family. I don't want to go that road. But I want to ask you, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, criticism is fine. But in this case, the larger point that is being made is to associate the variant with India when the WHO hasn't done it. And, you are ready to give China the benefit of doubt, as Nupur Sharma just pointed out. You never call it the Chinese virus. The Congress party never done. But they're very happy to use the word Indian variant, Modi variant. And that's a tad unfair.
Yeah, good evening, Navika. I've been waiting very patiently for, 30 minutes now. So please give me a couple of minutes. There are 2 points, essentially. Number one on the toolkit and the other on the variant that I'm in. On the first, Navika, it is absolutely vital to confirm the authenticity of this so-called Congress toolkit because quite simply, it is chapter and verse, for want of a better phrase, a call to arms against the state, its organs, its people. It is evil. It is vile. Its directives can only be written by a psychopath who is playing not only with lives, but also with deaths upon people, is wishing deaths upon people by saving beds for others. This is the kind of book Goebbels would have loved to write a foreword for. But again, I repeat, BJP must produce irrefutable proof that this document is authentic. Remember, Navika, the Farmers' Protest Toolkit was considered genuine because it was outed by mistake by one of its enablers and users, Greta, and others who had produced it were caught editing it.
Greta Thunberg.
Yes, and remember that the Kerala Congress wing had tweeted verbatim what was advised in that toolkit, including quotes. So there was no ambiguity about its bona fide nature. Here, it is the BJP that has alleged this toolkit to be drafted by the Congress, and so proof must be produced by BJP. And indirect attributions don't count, I'm afraid, like what many are doing, finding old tweets by compromised journalists and dynasty slaves who had used the phrases that the toolkit speaks of, like Kumbh being a super spreader, the virus being a Modi strain, etc. Well, a counterpoint to that, speaking objectively, is that the toolkit could have been written retrospectively after cleverly mining through all those tweets. Therefore, that indirect evidence doesn't count. Navika, as I said, this toolkit has in it enough material to be considered under charges of multiple criminal offences, sedition, treachery, and even culpable homicide, just to name a few. It all hinges on finding out the mechanic of this toolkit. Now to point number 2, very briefly. Navika, personally, as long as there are no double standards, I don't mind diseases or pathogens being named after cities and countries. There have always been German measles, Japanese encephalitis virus, West Nile virus, Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome. We had New Delhi.
The Spanish flu.
Yes, but even though it didn't originate in Spain, but that was the colonial UK doing. But you're right, Spanish flu. The problem comes when there is double standard. So same WHO that doesn't mind calling a beta-lactamase isolated from Delhi as New Delhi beta-lactamase, NDM1, is quivering in its stance when it comes to calling it Wuhan virus. So I have called UK variant, South African variant, Indian double mutant, but I call it Indian double mutant of the Chinese virus. So I think let's be clear. I don't mind a virus being a mutant being called an Indian mutant or a Bengal mutant or South African or Danish mutant or UK mutant. But the problem comes with this toolkit that they're calling it Modi mutant, Modi virus. And, so I repeat, the authenticity has to be confirmed, and BJP has alleged that this toolkit has been drafted by the Congress. It should have by now, it is evening, about the whole day has gone, it should have produced at least some semblance of proof that it is indeed drafted by the Congress. I'm amazed that it is not yet.
Nupur Sharma, absolutely what Dr. Anand Ranganathan says, and the onus is on the BJP. Produce evidence that this is the right toolkit, and you can actually attribute it to the Congress party and prove the Congress party's forgery charge wrong, number one. And number two, there are very, very important criminal charges. If the Congress leaders were blocking beds, if they were keeping excess medicine so that they could come out as good Samaritans who were helping out the public, and they were keeping some people in need who were going to hospitals desperate so that they could hand out their own freebies or favors or call it what you will, then this is a grave criminal charge, because minutes would have cost some people their lives. And therefore, you can't make this kind of a charge in the air, Nupur Sharma. The onus is on you to prove that this toolkit and the criminal charges associated with it is something that you will put on record and prove it in a court of law.
No doubt that blocking of bets not only attracts the disaster management, the epidemic diseases, also the IPC sections. But no, legally, procedurally, Navika, your son is also a lawyer. Since the complaint has been filed by the Congress party, this toolkit came out in a newspaper. That's why we went ahead with a press conference. The fact is, now the onus is irrefutably on the Congress party to prove that we forged it. The complaint accuses the BJP leaders of forging it. For that matter, now the investigation will show what is the origination, what computer made this toolkit. That's why at the start of your program, I said, I welcome this step of the Congress party, because you would have seen not a single senior leader from the Congress leadership has come on record to say this is a forged document. It's only some social media head.
So Sanjay Jha, it's not about lives. It is not about medicines. It is about how do you prove this legally. And you have to prove this, and the Congress party has to prove this in a court of law. So Sanjay Jha, do you think the Congress party can now prove the fact that the BJP concocted this? Because that's the challenge thrown out by the BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma, who's also a lawyer.
Well, Navika, I'll answer your question, and I'll also comment on the Indian variant issue that you have been discussing. But first and foremost, I think Dr. Anand Ranganathan had raised a real serious point. This is a very grave allegation being made against the Congress party. And I would just request all the viewers of your very popular program, I think the #1 channel in English television, Times Now, I would request all the viewers of this show, when this show gets over, ladies and gentlemen, please go to Google on your smartphones or your computer and type in BJP IT cell and fake news. And trust me, you will see millions of entries. It is so dubious and discreditable nonsense that you'll realize that manufacturing fake news, alternative facts, or what we call is the post-truth age we live in, BJP is a past master at it. Now let me answer your question, Navika. When India is now become the second largest country in 25 million cases after America, when the highest number of deaths in a day at 4,200 plus is happening in India, when we are contributing 50% and sometimes more than 50% of the daily global cases, when almost 30% of the daily deaths are from India, when you have hundreds of dead bodies going down to the Ganges River, and you have a social media head who says it has happened before, you realize that the BJP needs to change the headline. And this is very simply put, a very crude, in my opinion, a crude and a very callous way to try and change the political narrative. This is not a Congress toolkit. I have been there for a long time. I have been suspended by the Congress party. But I will tell you this, and heart to heart, even Shehzad Poonawalla knows it. No matter what posture he takes on your show, this is a BJP manufactured toolkit. You know what it has done? On your very popular show, where maybe you and I would have been discussing today as to why is Goa having so many people dying in the Goa Medical College, the BJP has created the confusion to say, hey, the Congress has a very devious, deadly agenda to disrupt the country, play the Chinese bogey, or to make Mr. Narendra Modi look bad. Well, Navika, let me quote from the Times of India, the mothership of the group that I respect a lot. I read the Times of India in the morning every day. And look at this very important piece, page 8 in the Mumbai Times. Why India's second wave has shocked the world. And the next line, the foreign press's focus on the COVID crisis since April has riled some. And by some we know it is Mr. Modi's government. They say it's an attempt to tarnish India's image.
Entire article
but
can't be
data, 1 minute, Shehzad, hang on. But
it is not about tarnishing garnishing anybody. No. This is about facts. This is about facts. And if you're talking about fake news, well, Shehzad Poonawala, he says that that a Google search will tell you that fake news comes up. Does it only come up with the BJP handle, or does it come up elsewhere as well?
Comes up with everybody, Navika, it comes 90%.
Sanjay, in the interest of a debate, let's have it two-way. First of all, Sanjay, I know exactly what the Congress party is capable of, and you and I both are capable of knowing that Congress party to defeat Narendra Modi can even stand and do Desh Virod. They've done it in Galwan, they've done it in 370, they've done it for many issues, including the Chinese issue. Every time they've gone and stood with foreign powers, and they've defamed their own country and stood against Narendra Modi in that case. So you and I both know they are capable of doing that. You acknowledge this to me myself on my show. But apart from that, you know what else Congress is adept at? It is adept at spreading half-truths. Now, half-truths like one Mr. Partha is sitting here. He said that Congress never officially on record said anything about the vaccines. Here is a statement of Manish Tiwari, and he should leave after the statement. He said, Manish Tiwari, Indians are not guinea pigs, as Manish Tiwari questions move to roll out Covaxin. This has been printed in his favorite publication, Scroll. So now Mr. Partha, half-truth. Now one more half-truth by Mr. Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha said 4,000 deaths per day in India. Correct, absolutely correct. How many deaths are coming from Maharashtra? 1,000 plus deaths per day, except for yesterday, 516. Every day it has been 900 plus deaths in Maharashtra. But he will not quote that. Also, one more half-truth by Mr. Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha says, look at the kind of cases in India. Look at the comparison that you're making. America में 5 गुना बेहतर population, 5 गुना बेहतर infrastructure है, 5 गुना बेहतर सारी चीजें हैं. But their cases are 5 times of India, and India which has one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I have to come in, because I do not want a competition on the number of deaths or on the number of bodies and the number of graves versus bodies being burnt in crematoriums. No, that is where we stop this debate, because Sanjay Jha also mentioned we would have been discussing the Goa Medical College debate. The point here is we've picked up every single debate. We have criticized Kumbh. We have looked at every single issue of lack of oxygen. We've looked at remdesivir. We've looked at the vaccine policy, and we have criticized wherever there has been need, because our responsibility and accountability is only to the people of India, our viewers and the citizens. Whether Sanjay Jha is happy with me or not, whether the Congress party is happy with me or not, or my channel or not, or whether the BJP is happy with us or not, is not the point. The point is we've picked up those issues, and we've picked up this issue, because this issue, ladies and gentlemen, makes a very, very important charge. And let me preface it by saying that if this toolkit is genuine, as the BJP has pointed out, then there are criminal charges here, and the criminal charges are blocking of beds, taking away medicines and hoarding them, and something that could have helped some people in need to save their lives, because one political party was trying to curry favors and show their own PR in a manner, if you can call it that, in saving lives. If that is true, then ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious charge. But before this serious charge can be actually proven, the BJP will either have to prove that this toolkit exists, or the Congress party will have to prove that the BJP has forged this. Because after this battle is settled, it's only then when public of India, when people of India will get the real answer on who was conning Indian citizens in the name of the second wave of COVID and taking away the much required beds, medicines, injections, what have you. And that is the answer we are going to dig out from wherever it is possible. And that is something we as journalists and Times Now as a channel owes to its viewers. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1. Debate number 2 and the Twitter double face coming up on the other side.